And we're back
Hello, everyone.
with a review of Isle of Cats.
Yes, we just finished our extended playthrough. Links to that and to the first round and general rules and overview and thingies.
Yeah.
And the first one?
Yeah. So let's start with art and components.
I like the art.
Yeah.
It's very cute. I find the cards to be a bit too busy. I don't like...
The changing of the font color, or is it just a lot of text in general?
Both.
Yeah.
It looks like some amateur person's CV where they just put stuff in bold for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And I do understand that there's a reason, but it's not like the points are emphasized and the verb, for example, here.
Right.
It's the point and the icon, and then there's something in brackets, and then there's a cat, and then there's text around. Like,
Yeah. The cat, by the way, is used for the family version or the solo game. I'm not sure which. So there's a mechanisms reason for the cat, but I agree that it's very busy.
I don't mind the cat. I think the art is adorable in general. They
Yeah.
did a really great job on this. I just wish that the cards were less busy. And I made multiple mistakes when we played. Every time it's like, oh yeah, this card's for room empty, this card's for room full, because it's kind of drowned within the paragraphs of text.
Yeah.
So that's a very big negative for me. However, there's rules clarifications on the cards in a different font, in a different color, and it's usually very nice. Usually when you have a question about it, you just look to the bottom and you're like, oh, it says you still have to pay, or it says you don't have to pay, and stuff like that. So that element's really nice, in my opinion. The boat's cute. I do wonder why they didn't make the icons on the boat more distinct. They kind of just...
The room icons.
Yeah, they kind of drown in, and there's one massive room that has no icon.
Yeah.
Like, every time we play it, I keep telling it, like, can you check? Are you sure it's not a rules mistake? Because it seems very weird that there's this massive room in the center that doesn't have an icon. I think this could have been done much, much better, this particular element, both the cards and the player board. But other than that, everything's serviceable, everything's simple, the colors pop, which is very important for me, with the exception of the treasures. The difference between regular and rare treasures and small and large could have been easily made better.
Yeah.
Like, this could have been, I don't know, metal color, and that's it, solved.
Yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't matter, it's still very cute.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said. I consider the boards are nice and thick and they're double-sided. I guess the very small things like this, I read it first as a 3 out of 5 because there's 3 fish showing, but actually
There are 2 that are hidden behind.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a
Very
deal,
small.
but yes.
I like the fact that the scoring pad is nice and big. It comes with a pencil. Yeah, everything is good. I mean, it's a good quality production, and the art in general I think is fantastic, and it's very evocative. And the cat tokens.
Yeah, these are very underutilized, but they're very pretty.
Yeah, they're very pretty.
They're really cute.
Yeah. Mechanisms.
You go first.
Okay. So obviously, I mean, we have to compare it to other Tetris-style games, but I think that overall, I mean, on its own, it's okay. If this was the first game that we've tried of this genre, then I think we would have liked it. I mean, I still like it. I think it's good. The fact that you have a lot of things that you want to take care of, both the rats and the rooms, and making families of them. There's a lot of things to consider. I guess we could have spent more time if we wanted to, trying to really see what fits where, which I really didn't do in this particular game. I just said...
I did. It didn't help me, but I did.
Yeah, there's a lot of tokens or like these pieces on the board, so there's a lot of chances or a lot of, times where you can just pick one up and look at it, which is a good thing, but other games I think solved it a little bit better. The drafting of the cards is interesting. I mean, it's nice. It makes you choose between points or actions or the Oshaks or treasures. And I guess the currency. I mean, the fact that there are sort of three currencies, right? The fish, the baskets, and the boots. Sorry, is okay. I don't see why they needed the baskets, to be honest.
The boots are fairly...
And the boots are very random.
I don't think they're very random because the more boots, the more a card costs. So that's the difference between a card that costs 1 and 2 or 0 and 1.
Yeah.
And I rarely think about them.
Right, doesn't matter.
They could have just as well been left out, but it's nice to have the option to decide, okay, I'm first player this round because it means something to me.
Yeah. Right. Okay, your thoughts?
Well, it's first of all, it's very difficult not to compare this to Baron Park, which is one of my all-time favorite games, and definitely my favorite game in that weight category. And Baron Park does a lot of things much better, like not having currency.
Yeah.
And generally being simpler. I think that this game is very enjoyable, but it has that issue where I do have to spend some time thinking about baskets to cats, to lessons, to other resources that I might save for next round, and then I get nothing. There's a lot of luck here, and...
You theoretically see the cats before, but it's a hassle.
But there are 8 of them.
Yeah, in just a 2-player game. In more players, it's more cats, yeah.
So, in 2 players, the depth to complexity ratio is like completely off. You don't see enough cats, you don't see enough cards, you don't get the benefits of the mechanisms. It's not a very fun game in 2 players. It's not bad. I'm not trying to discourage anyone. When it's a bad 2-player game, we say it's a bad 2-player game. But you will find yourself feeling frustrated at the lack of options to get new cards or get new cats or stuff like that. I would have been much happier if the deck was half the size for 2 players, so that I could at least reliably know that some cards will come out.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice idea if they would have marked duplicate cards as 3 or 4 players and above. I don't think they could do that realistically for the cats, because I'm not going through the entire bag every time we play, but for the cards, I think it would have been a realistic issue, a realistic solution to the problem. So where were we? 2 players not recommended, 3 or 4 players, I think it works. The complexity to depth kind of works, and you have more cats around, so the boots actually mean something, because you can say, oh, I have 2 or 3 options of the color that I want, so I want to be first player, I'll put the extra 4 boots card.
Yeah. And comparing it to other games, I think that we can only compare it to Baron Park to some extent.
Well, Magnificent has similar mechanisms,
and also
but it's
Santa
very
Maria,
different.
But, yeah.
Ew, Santa Maria.
Yeah, so I think that, well, if you like this one, then definitely check out Baron Park. If you have Baron Park, I don't really see a reason for you to have this as well.
It's a different weight category. I mean,
is it a
I think it's
more
heavier.
Complex? Yeah, but just a smidgen.
You can't play this with someone who is not into board games and have them fully enjoy the experience, which you can with Baron Park.
Yeah.
Baron Park is fun because you're solving this little puzzle within your own microcosm, and you can pretty much ignore other players, whereas here, it's not...
Yeah, I think one of the... there are a lot of advantages to Baron Park, but one of them is that the board expands during the game. And so you start with just one little section, and then it grows. And here you start off with everything in front of you. So it feels a bit restrictive in that sense. You don't feel like you're, building a world and really expanding it, just filling a space with stuff, which I think is less interesting. So I guess, I don't know, if you really like Baron Park, or if you felt like Baron Park is too gateway-ish and you wanted to add a little bit.
Because this is heavier.
Yeah,
this is
it's
undoubtedly
heavier,
heavier, and that's not a bad thing. It's just different.
Yeah. But I guess, yeah, but, you know, looking at the, just for us, I think, you know, this isn't a keeper, I think, because, again, there is always Baron Park. And if you wanted to increase the heaviness in Baron Park, we could add the expansions. And I think, again, the cards and the drafting, they're nice, but they're not, in and of themselves, anything new. And just adding a drafting mechanism to poly thing Tetris tiles doesn't do a lot. So, yeah.
So this is, to sum it up, a lukewarm recommendation if you're looking for something that's medium, but you know, slowly climbing up. And
although, again, it's not a bad game.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's not
exactly
good enough.
What we're looking for.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite innovative enough or cohesive enough to generate an experience that is unique enough to other games.
But the art is lovely, and there's theme, and I do kind of enjoy looking at the cat sprawling and having fun on the boat afterwards.
Right.
So there's plenty to like here. Just see if it fits your shelf and your needs.
Yeah. And with that, we hope you enjoyed this review. Links down below for the overview and the extended playthrough. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.